Hey, me again. Just looking to do a few maps, show you what's going on. This is pre the big patch that's coming out later this week. I don't really know why I'm playing. Logic would dictate that you save your stuff for there, but I don't know. You can call it whatever you'd like. Video game addiction or just not much to do. But hey, it's also a historical record. Uh, Sorry, just processing items from the previous map. So in terms of maps, we've got like what I call the 15 wall is appearing. It's 14, so it goes up there. So we're getting to the point where I will soon only be able to run tier 15 maps, which is fantastic. But I still get a bunch of 12, 11, 10, 9. I still get a bunch of random other maps, so those end up here until I can crunch them down. So here we've got uh, two tier 13s, so we can crunch them down, but we got two corrupted 14s. So if we take these non-corrupt, oh, that's corrupted as well. These are all corrupted. Nope. When you corrupt a tier 15, it can go down to a tier 14. But I will crunch down these threes. 10, yeah, 10 goes there. So you can put three of one type of map into the reforging bench, and it will crunch down into the next tier, which is really useful. Hey, Feta! Please don't. That's my dog. They like barking at the door. So with that done, we then do our org check. Okay, here we go. Not an org, that was a transmute, and this is org. And now we do the org check, yeah. Cool. Alrighty, so now we gotta go through them all, make sure there's nothing that is good. So I usually type rarity into search here. For some reason that's showing all of them. Usually that works. Oh well. Like for example, if I type gold, yeah. So if I type gold, it's going to show all the maps that have gold chance. So that's 50% increased gold. As you can see, I don't really care, but there we go. Maybe quant. Yeah, there we go. That's a good one. That is 21% increased rarity and 14% increased quantity, plus my rarity gear, plus the tablets in range. We're good. This is the area that we're doing. I think we'll go. That's got 28. We got a rarity and a quantity somewhere. That's quantity. There we go. 27% increased rarity. 20%. Oh, that's 27% quantity. 20% rarity. And actually, if I go on this one, it'd be even better because it's corrupted and irradiated. So this will actually make it 81. Actually, didn't. Oh, damn! It's an augury. Don't know how performance is going to be. I will put the performance graph up to keep an eye on it. I think it's like F1 or something. Yeah, there we go. That's the Meteor Shrine. Meteor Shrine is fantastic. Like a few maps ago, I had the Chaos Explosion Shrine combined with the Attack Speed Shrine, and that was like really cool. Like everything was just exploding. More than it usually does, anyway. Looks like I missed a tablet, so I'll probably have to go back to that. With the change in runes, as in you can replace runes, runes are going to have a monetary sink after the patch. So I recommend picking them up again. I used to not pick them up because I'm like, I'm never going to use these 30 iron runes that I've got anyway. But now there's a likelihood that if I don't use them, someone on the market might need them because after the patch you'll be able to replace runes. And so that means that runes inherently have a little bit more of a value. And because I have the currency tab, they stack there, so they're free to pick up. other currency-related things that I'm trying to get sorted are if I have any additional tablets that have quantity or rarity on them, I'm saving them for the update. This particular area just had those tablets already used, which is why I'm happy to run it. But there's a general sort of buff to the rewards on maps coming. So if you've got any quantity rarity stuff, both on maps or tablets, you might want to wait till the patch is over. I really hate Magma Barrier. It's killed me way more times than anything else. Actually, no, I think it's like third. So first is Chaos Plants. Chaos Plants always killed me. You first used to be first was the other Chaos one. I think it was like Chaos Globules or whatever, but they disabled that modifier because it doesn't telegraph well. So I appreciate that one because I hated that one. But the Chaos Plants kill me a lot. Magma Barrier kills me a lot, and I guess Freeze to some extent. I'm pretty good on death effects right now because I basically a ranged character even though I'm not ranged. So a little hint with these levers I really wish GGG would put up is basically change this icon on the minimap to reflect the status of the lever, and also make sure that on the minimap it always stays there. So if I open tab here, this lever will disappear if I go a little bit further away, and what that means is at a glance I don't know which lever I've pulled, which lever I haven't pulled, and I have to run around the entire map again. It's also very, very, very important to clear the surrounding rooms before you go near that lever, because there are monsters that are running to try and kill you. If you go AFK in a map, you'll see them. What's this legendary relic here? That's shit. So the end boss of the Trialist the Sekima will drop an additional Baraya, which is the icon, the item that you use to get into the trial, and that you have no defenses. That's like terrible. Maybe the bar isn't like another item because it doesn't say Djinn Bara. Maybe it's like a different type of bar. I don't know. I keep meaning to farm trials. If I show you my stash tab, you'll see I've got a bunch, but I'm still like progressing in terms of levels. We're at 40% into level 91 right now, and every point just gives me sort of an opportunity to improve things. Things are pretty stable in this build. I'll get some damage numbers for you in a moment. So fun fact about this, and I still don't think all the skill combinations that can utilize this stuff effectively have been found. But if you have charged staff up, then Whirling Assault has the charged staff projectiles in it. And so I do that when I get surrounded, as it just sort of, it does, rather than single direction, it does multi-directional attacks. And also lets me move whilst attacking, which is really good. I don't use it a lot because I don't have enough damage for stun to really... this is dangerous. Okay, we tanked that. Good. Okay, I guess it like disappears when it's done. Maybe that's what I'm seeing. Should have seen if I could have got that gold map I used here to tier 16. You just Val Orbit and pray for the best, because that might have 82'd it. Because it was irradiated and corrupted, which is like +2 levels, and then corrupting it would be plus another additional level. Okay, this is where we check what the rest of the map has, so it looks like it's just the guys in the middle. Now, I've died a lot of times in the middle because you spend the entire map, like, unlocking these levers, which are fraught with issues anyway, And then you're like, I'm finally free. Yeah, here comes the red line. I'm finally free. I can get into the central area. There's some like wacky modifier. Like this guy would just be like, I've got a wacky modifier and instantly kills you. Luckily, he's got ads, so maybe we can get some electrocute. Or we'll just electrocute him. That's another idea. Because I knocked them out with Staggering Palm, it means that I have both Charge Staff and Staggering Palm's buff on the Quarterstaff. I think Staggering Palm just ran out, but that's like really good. I keep meaning to look into the other like palm abilities and just see what else is out there. I know that there's some more advanced power charge tech that people are working on. I don't have enough spirit for that. I'm the Chaos Monk. So the Invoker Ascendancy has a bunch of passives on it that make Spirit easier to get. It's something like Armor equals Spirit or Evasion equals Spirit. I don't have that, so I'm limited on my Spirit. I have all 4 points, and I'm at the top of the tree. I talked about this in a previous video, but if you have Chaos damage sources, then the bottom of the tree is okay. So if you're like a Chaos caster, which you can do as a monk, then the bottom half of the tree is fine. This middle part of the tree is really good, particularly into the breach for the campaign, because you can just run around and collect like health. Really good. But it's not like I'm mostly energy shield and evasion based, so mana and health don't work, and the chaos just like, I mean, like it would buff the final damage on the stack that I've got, but it wouldn't be worth it. Anyway, that's that map done. I'll do like maybe 3 and then hit go on the video and just upload it. I'm trying to find a citadel, but after the patch that'll be a lot easier to find. I have... Ooh. Oh yeah, there's these rings that are rare that you can put jewels into. And so that's one of those. Comes from the Sekima trial, looks like. Cold resistance is unaffected by area penalties. Oh, so that would mean that the map that I just went into, if that had like negative cold res, it wouldn't affect that. That's actually really good because it's 16 all attributes, 15% rarity, but you can only socket sapphire jewels. So if we go into my, like there's one here, like I'd be able to socket that. I would exalt it up, but I could socket that one as well into that ring. That's cool. What do we get? Orbs. Quite a few orbs. I didn't identify. I put these in order because the idea is like come out the portal, control click Doriani, it'll identify stuff. Control click Kitsuli, I just call him Blue Man, and he can diss stuff for you. Trading that's actually really good. I don't know like what the price is, so I'll probably just dump tab it and take a look later. But that is 27 chaos, 1 level to all spell skills, 24% rarity, which I think I covered. Yeah, that's like really good because it's got like 8% increased max mana, 27. That's really good. So I won't diss that. And then this is also dissable. Yes, excellent. This just means disenchant. It's like first time I heard it was people in the school playground at my high school were like, "Oh yeah," and then I was dissing a bunch of stuff at the vendor, and I'm like, "Whoa!" World of Warcraft had just come out. Here's my collection of trial tokens. I also need the unique stash tabs. I'm waiting for the stash tab deal because I like having these because depending on what people find, sometimes these turn into like really cool builds. So at some point I want to play around with this one. And this one. Because like when you're stationary, you have your blind people that are within a certain radius of you. And then this one is 4% increased damage of hits for each second they've been in your presence, up to a maximum of 200. So that's like 200% damage against rare and unique enemies that are within your presence. And they can't see you because they're blinded. I thought it might be sort of like cool to try out one day. I don't know if these builds would be any good, but like it's important to keep those items to sort of play with them later. There's a bunch of other stuff going on there. Like there's a warrior helmet in one of my tabs. Here it is. So this is every grant 1 rage on melee hit. I still have rage being built up on Tempest Flurry here, which does 3 rage on hit, so it would increase my rage. So if I had this helmet plus like a max rage increaser, then I might be able to do like a strength-based monk. I've often wondered if this plus that could be viable, but I don't know. There's also like a here it is. Here's another rage one. So this is like that's why it's stacked on top of each other. So if I like put both of these on, I'd be like a rage machine. This one I keep for trials. This one here I'm just kind of interested in again trying because it's power charge tech I haven't played with. What's this one do? Oh, that's gonna be for an invoker if I ever get an invoker. It's sort of for an invoker you can do like a tri-element invoker, so they do lightning, fire, and shock damage, and this will just sort of rotate them around. And this does a bunch of mathematics basically because you're moving stuff around, like a bunch of mathematics happens, and it's like difficult to figure out. I won't go through any more of those. I've got some old gear that I've been using like a long time ago. Like this is really good armor. It's 128. It's quite good. So I'm just sort of keeping it because armor doesn't do anything. But these could easily be a good hold for any sort of armor using person once armor is actually good. For now, we're just gonna dump tab stuff and get into another map. Do the empty soon, which is quite full. Stash tab is kind of empty. What I'm doing is I'm upgrading the stash tab. I actually saw a content creator. I don't know which one it was. This isn't going to narrow it down. Black hair. Because lots of the content creators have black hair. If I remember, I'll put it in the video description. But they were also complaining the gem stash tab only has 500 slots in it. You should just like add another 0, or like if it went to 1,000, or you added another 0 to make that 5,000. Like either of which would be fine. So what I'm doing is I'm scrolling down, and it's like, okay, like do I really need this many support gems? The answer is yeah, probably. I should keep those. But then we go up to like level 14. I don't need this many level 14 skill gems. So I'll take out some, and then I can put these uncut spirit gems back in, which are hypothetically worth more money. Control click on the blood priestess, and you can go straight to a shop. That's why they're all lined up. So it's like identify, dis, sell. We got here, we've got another 14. Go over to Elon's maps. Put it with the 14, 14, 14. That's corrupted. That isn't corrupted. That isn't corrupted. All right, I can make a 15. And that's a 12, which you can combine to a 13. So let's crunch these down. There we go. And we've already made back up the waystone we used for augury there. Go into currency. I was talking about the runes. Like, these were all, like, pretty good. It's like, how am I ever going to use 38 storm runes? The answer was no, but maybe after this patch, right? Iron runes I was using a lot of because I was doing some crafting to try and sell some stuff, so it was important to sort of have more of those, it seems now. Because now runes can be replaced, and they will be destroyed when you replace the rune, but the item's safe now. It means that, like, say you're struggling on a particular boss, you might want to replace the iron rune here with, like, a resistance rune just for that boss or just for that encounter, and then come back and put an iron rune back in after you've cleared that tough encounter. All right, I actually need another map. Let's get a couple. Again, gonna try searching for rarity, which doesn't work. Let's try quantity. Okay, the tablets have it. Good. Let me search items. Yeah, that does it. 63% rarity. Cool. Now, some people would say, like, hey, let's regal that, but, like, I'm not going to regal that. Like, I will take 63% rarity and only one detriment. Right now, I'll take it. Irradiated and corrupted. We got any, like, irradiated, corrupted, and boss? That would be good. What's back here? Oh, that's I hate power maps. Alright, let's go corruption down here. That also might be fixed by the patch because they're sort of buffing the amount of bosses that appear on maps, which is great because the bosses are kind of cool. There are some that feel like a little bit cookie cutter because you always see them. But one of the things you have to remember is that we only have half the maps that we would usually have. So, for example, I see Hive a lot, but if we have 4, 5, and 6, then there'll be double the amount of tile sets that can be available. So that'll help. Hopefully, they'll add more like biome areas too there. I don't know how they're doing the generation. It makes sense for Hive to be there, but like I don't know how they're doing the generation of it. Okay, here it is. Look at that. So this is Boss, Irradiated, and Corrupted. And it's got quantity and rarity and waystones on it, so we should actually try. I might regret this. I told you. I immediately regret it. Patch of Burning Ground. We're going to do it. At least you get to see how I handle Burning Ground. Here it is. Blooming Field of Burning... Yeah, it's fine. It's got a boss, Blooming Field. That'd be probably the Bell dude. Or it might be the Bramble thing. Whatever, we'll try it. If I die, I die. That's why it's important. Like, if you have a map that's going well, and it's going well for items, maybe don't regal it, don't exalt it, because you're probably only going to get a downside. That unique that I keep talking about when I use in trials could also be good here. I would probably need to corrupt it so that it has more than one slot. Actually, it's a body armor, so I'll have 2 slots, more than 2 slots, and then it would be really good. So Burning Ground isn't that bad, provided I can attack stuff. This is a leech based build. I can talk about it more in another updated build video if you want, but basically, provided I am dealing damage to things, I'm absolutely fine. Like, if my damage stops for any reason, is when I actually start taking damage. I know a lot of people be like, "Hey, why aren't you using Flicker Strike?" It's like, I don't like that, because like you come out of the Flicker Strike and you have no mechanism of deciding where that is, and it'll be on a patch of Burning Ground. Guarantee it. This is fast enough, right? It's not like full map clear, but I don't want full map clear. Those builds aren't fun. It's bad to compare this game to Dark Souls, but I actually enjoy the combat where I need to think. Like here, I'm getting surrounded. That's thought, right? If it was one of those clear builds, I would have to just spam one button and the map would explode. I guess we can do damage numbers here. Fun fact about this UI, if you push these, it shrinks them down. But you can still see... Interrupting me whilst I'm explaining UI. Stop it. You can shrink these down and take a look at them a little better. This middle area is pretty much all we need. Oh, I can put another gem up there. I might have to see if there's anything relevant. So I do see a lot of people who don't skill gem their Quarterstaff Trike, and I get it, because like there's the support gem capacity requirements up here. I had room and capacity to spare, so I leave gems up there. Sometimes it's storage for me, because it's like it's a free place to put a gem that you might need situationally in a map. But it's also great if I have a complete mana like problem, particularly if charged staff is still up. Because if you just attack normally with charged staff, it's still quite good for me. Like, it's 20k damage. It's not as good as Tempest, but it's still 20k damage. It can get me out of a tricky spot. What's going on? Oh, Whirling Assault. Whirling Assault doesn't, like, do any damage. I need to figure out why that is, but... Actually, what does quality do to Whirling Assault? Oh, attack speed. Okay, cool. I'll quality that in a moment. I've got enough gems to do it. Alright, where are we going? Where are we going? Up this way. Cool. These are open, by the way, and they're open even when I dodge roll, because what I did was I went into the settings. I'll show you once I've killed this group. And I unbound close all UI, so I'll show you that in a moment. Actually, it pauses now, so it should be fine. Yeah, paused. You go to option... Oh, what the hell? It unpaused when I went to options. That wasn't what I expected. Am I off burning ground? Yes. So if you go into input, and then you scroll through here, it's like quite down the list. Close all user interface, right? That by default is bound to space. So when you dodge roll, it will close out these interfaces like you're pushing space. But escape even. But if you unbind that, then these can just stay on the right-hand side of the screen and you can monitor your build numbers. Now, I don't know if the Tempest Flurry number there is reflecting all my damage, and I'll explain that after I kill this monster, I guess. So, when I hit with Tempest Flurry, Rage starts building up, and so you'll see that my attack damage goes up, like it goes up on a graph, but then it'll go back down if I stop attacking. But added to that, as another like source of fluctuation, is this, which is basically a 7% chance to do double damage, or a 23% chance to do a quarter extra damage. So I don't know if that's reflected in that number there, but that basically means like right now, if I attack, 7% of those hits will do 64,000 damage instead of 32,000 damage. Now, of course, that goes through the resistances and the mathematics. It's probably not literally 62k for one hit, but it's still double what it would be without that. And so that's why stuff sort of sporadically explodes sometimes. I like that particular passive because it really fits the sort of theming of like chaos, right? It's like it's unpredictable, it's uncontrollable, stuff like that. I also like the Into the Breach for that. That's the one that makes the flames appear. And the reason behind that is because it makes you run around the map in a chaotic way. I remember there's a breach there. I usually do breaches at the end of the map, and because this is a burning ground map, I'm not even sure if I'll do it. What I'll have to do is sort of study the area around the breach and figure out how much safe ground there is and how much burning ground there is. Probably the boss or another elite mob up here. I know I'm running in circles, it's just how the game works sometimes. Particularly in these larger maps that are sort of mazy. I think like Savannah I can do like in a minute or so because each of the rare mobs are in like a straight line from each other and there's no restrictions to that. Yeah, this looks like the boss area. Yeah, it's the Bell boss. I don't particularly like this guy. I don't like any guys that do big swings. I can evade them, but the way that they work, they're like harder mathematically to evade, even if your evasion is high. So now he's really dangerous with that bell. Electrocute proc. Beautiful. Another bell. Done. Hey, we both got bells. Alright, so we made our money back. The way I do it is like if we get one exalted or one tier 15 waystone at any point during the map, we've made our money back. We don't need to worry. Because it cost one tier 5 waystone, tier 15 waystone to get in here. Just generic tier 15 waystones are one exalt, so you got the money. I don't know why I instantly portaled. There's a breach I gotta do. Sort of over here somewhere. Alright, so we got to look, and it's like if I stay in this area whilst I'm doing the breach and maybe come down here and like stay to the flowers, I'll be good. I hate the ranged breach monsters because they'll just be like, I'm gonna laser you from off the screen. Here you go. Stop lasering me from off the fucking screen. Wind Dancer proc there. Any more clasp hands? No, it's closing. Alright. That wasn't that good, but it was a burning ground map, so I was playing a little bit safe. I think that's it for it. What I want to do, though, is if I just go to the map... Oh, it doesn't tell me. Oh, we'll just call it done. I know that, like, hypothetically, you should go kill all the monsters when it says more than 50 monsters, but, like, I'm not crawling across a burning ground map to do that. Plus, like I said, we've already made our money back. Yeah, they can go. That can go. Sure, that can go as well. Like, I could craft that up, but I just, like, I can't be bothered. How are we doing a breach stone? 159, so we're still about halfway to a breach stone. Okay. Stash tab with the affinity, blah blah blah, has full. Can be a thing. You can have the 2 as well. I'm not going to do anything with it. Alright, let's see. Are these good? 61 rarity, and it's a crit. That's fine, we'll run that. Again, looking for a good candidate. I'm kind of thinking here. Yeah, it's Hive, that's good. Hive is like an more open map. And the Delhi Mirror? Hell yeah. And a breach. Oh, this is going to be an string one. Yesterday, I accidentally triggered a breach whilst I was in Delirium. And that wasn't that difficult because Delirium monsters, they occur in packs, whereas breach monsters occur around the breach and follow you. So it worked out, but it was very confusing and chaotic because I didn't know what was a breach monster. When the breach opens, your job is to kill as many breach monsters as you can. That's just the way it works. I also like how breach does that. Like you can't pick up the loot for your breach map until like the breach is closed. Otherwise, you're like losing time to like make more breach loot. But you might die, so it's like always like a cost benefit thing. If I see a breach ring or breach splinters, I usually pick them up whilst I'm traveling during a breach, but I don't want to be distracted by that because it can change trajectory. And on a burning ground map, that's just like forget your like safe zone. I think I was in burning ground during that previous breach a little bit, but like because I'd figured out exactly the route I was going to take, we still had a good breach. Not in terms of loot, but like we got enough. I'm not breach stoning right now. I'll save that till after the patch. Charge staff is out. I've often thought, like, I don't know if this is like officially cheating or anything, but like this stuff is like really useful if I'm not in combat. Like if I'm in combat, I can't pass it that well. I've often thought like, hey, can we just move this bar down to here? And that kind of happens on the console view. So try the gamepad version at some point. But I was thinking like, what if I got like a video recognition system? Just trained it on the data up there and made it like text to speech a couple of like information points that would be really useful. Like when charged staff is going to run out, it could like make a noise or something. Or when Wind Dancer is off its stacks, that would also be good to know. Because I'm technically like more squishy when this number here for Wind Dancer doesn't read 4. If it reads 4, I'm good. If it doesn't read 4, I'm not good. I used to run Ghost Dance as well, but I don't have enough spirit to run that and Grim Feast and Wind Dancer and Herald. I have to look at the description of Herald of Ash again. I know a lot of mercenaries like play Herald of Ash. I haven't read the skill in a while. Don't remember what it does. So don't let me. That was a like fast map clear because it's breach. It's not breach hive because it's a more openable map. But we do have a breach and we do have a delirium mirror. Fun fact about these strong boxes: I think you can exalt it all of them. This one I would need a scroll, and I don't have a scroll on me. But you can also scroll them. Like if you took a wisdom scroll out of your inventory, right-clicked it, and put it on this box, it would tell you its modifiers, and then I think you can like regal, exalt it, etc. It's not worth it right now. Particularly when it's a blue strongbox, it's not worth it. I'll usually do gold strongboxes, simply because they're gold, and sometimes they drop exalted orbs, and that's okay. But most of the time, I can't be bothered. I might just do it anyway. I'm gonna do it. It's just for good old time's sake. That's if I remember where it is, because that's another thing. Up here somewhere. I'll take the gold chest. Sure. Okay, I've lost the strongbox. Cool. I have no sense of direction, so like if you're screaming at the camera right now, like, "Hey, it's to your right," yeah, pretty much Narnia to me. And there's like no reason to not put it on the minimap, but once I found it, it's like I've already found it, guys. We call the end game mapping, right? Oh, are you mapping tonight? Prime, are you mapping tonight? It's like, yeah, I'm mapping tonight. Like if a cartographer was mapping this hive biome, they would put an X where the stroll box is on their map. It's like there's even like a lore reason why like an icon on the minimap would make sense for that. So I know that the Delirium Mirror is going to be by the entrance. So I'm heading back towards the entrance now, so that I can find the breach hopefully on the way. And again, it would be great if stuff that you found while mapping an area showed up on the area's map. Oh, here's the breach. We'll do the breach. I don't want to be in this corner. I want to be over here. There we go. This is going to close, though. Not enough sustain on it. Oh, maybe. That was okay. I need to, like, I'm at the point where I need to, like, write my own loot filter, because I can understand why it's, like, showing some of this stuff, but, like, I just don't care. Like, for example, my loot filter would just say, don't show shields. Like, they're huge. Like, I pick up this, like, there's no reason for me to carry that. I got that again. Cool. You know, it puts on the map cool items. Doesn't put the damn breach so I can find it later, though, does it? Yeah, I don't care about any of that. I'm level 47. Should I try the Temple of Cass? I'm sure if you want. Those were regular monsters, because I haven't been down here. There's still Fog of War. That's like one of the best shrines. So with Delirium, you're just looking to stay in the fog as long as possible, and sort of just follow the fog. Because the fog does move, and if you just stay in it then and explore the map again, you'll find more monsters. See, I'm already at 2 rewards, I'll be at 3 rewards probably by the end of this. How do you get, like, enough splinters to get to the breach boss when... I mean, I guess the tablets would do that, and I'm not tableting right now. See, I'm probably going to lose this. Yep, it moved too fast. Oh well. Still Despair. I think Despair is one of the more expensive ones, which is why it made that noise. I will double check. But that'll do for our map stuff. So I'm going to just process the loot and then I'll sign off and just randomly upload this video. Again, I hope I'm providing a like more realistic look at, like, how this game is. That's not good. How's that? Good roll. Bad roll on rarity. Yeah, it's bad. Got no room for that. I should just go the empty suit tab, sure. Sometimes I'll like put on an episode of a Netflix show and I would just sort my stash. It takes like an hour and then we're good. Alright, that's that tab. That tablet's prepped. Oh, look, finishes my collection there. Did we get any 15s? We sure did. Let's fill in the 15 hole. That's XI. That's for VI, so I can crunch those down. 3, 10, 5, 8. 8. So I can crunch, like, I can crunch all the way up to 11 here, right? So I'll crunch these down, and it'll give me another 9. Crunch these down, and it'll give me another 10. Crunch these down, and it'll give me another 11. Crunch these down, and it'll give me another 12. One, two, three, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. So 8's first. That makes a 9. Crunch the 9s. Crunch the 10s. Crunch the 11s. 12. Still not worth it to run, but it means that I'm now at 2 12, so I get another 12. I've got that as well, so I'm like already on my way to another 14. And just because there's 3 here, I'll crunch these VIs as well. There. Nope, VII, there. There you go. That's some random maps. Let's big it up there for that one divine orb that's in my currency tab, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Oh, C. Life, energy, shield, mana, spirit, armor, evasion, block, and my res is there.